Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, an update on local enrollment for health insurance under the Affordable Care Act. Hear about a program that gives free legal advice to small businesses, and we'll learn about public policy goals for the state's tech industry. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. The latest 3-month enrollment period for health insurance under the Affordable Care Act began last weekend. And here with an update is Alan Jersvig, Director of Healthcare Innovation for the Arizona Alliance for Community Health Centers. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay, what exactly began on Saturday?
On Saturday, people could start enrolling again in the marketplace. These are the insurance products that are available, some people would say through Obamacare, but healthcare.gov, the website, is now open for business again.
And this is going to go on for 3 months?
3 months till February 15th.
And who is eligible?
Who is eligible? Actually, anyone that doesn't currently have coverage can shop on the marketplace, but only certain people are going to be eligible to receive financial assistance.
And who are those folks? What's necessary?
To be eligible for financial assistance, first, you don't have employer coverage, and it's all based on family size and income. So the less you make, the more you might be eligible for in the way of assistance to be able to purchase insurance on the marketplace.
And you can find that out on the website because the procedures, the equations are there for you?
It's very simple. There's multiple ways you can find out. But one of the ways you can find out is to go to healthcare.gov and you can shop before you buy. There's literally a window shopping experience where you put in your age, your income, your family size, and it'll show you the plans for Arizona, and you can start getting an idea, and it'll calculate based on just a few pieces of information the financial assistance that you might be eligible for.
Now, as far as these plans are concerned, are there more insurance options this go-round than last go-round?
Yes. Last year in Maricopa County, there were about 111 plans. This year, there's more than 130.
Wow.
And there are 3 new companies. Arizona has a very robust insurance market compared to some states.
So with that in mind, let's say I am interested, I go online, I tap in healthcare, I do the whole 9 yards. What hits me in the face there on the screen?
What hits you on the face is multiple choices, but what's really important is this. 8 out of 10 people last year received financial assistance in Arizona, and about 120,000 people purchased marketplace plans. So most people are going to go online to see if they qualify for any kind of financial assistance. And what hits you is the information is displayed that says your premium might be $300 a month, but you're getting $100 in tax credit, so you only have to pay $200 a month.
And that's spelled out in relatively plain English? Because I mean,
simple.
just in normal health insurance, or insurance in general can be confusing to some folks.
Well, you know, that is so true. And what's important that we all remember is people that found an assister, a community-based assister that is trained, they were about 4 or 5 times more likely to complete the process than people that did it on their own. And the organization I represent, we have approximately 300 trained and licensed assisters throughout the state of Arizona. So help is available.
Now, are you a navigator then? Is that what you are technically?
I am technically a navigator, certified and licensed, and the Arizona Alliance for Community Health Centers has received the largest navigator grant in Arizona for the last 2 years. But we also work with all community health centers in the state. But it's important to note that more than 600 organizations have come together to collaborate under the Cover Arizona moniker. And coveraz.org is a great website where you can find the help that you need right now.
Coveraz.org.
Correct.
Okay, let's get back to the enrollment process here. If you're already enrolled, do you need to re-enroll?
Yes, you do, because each policy in the marketplace is good for 12 months. So if you're already enrolled, you're in that 120,000 that enrolled last year.
Yes.
Both the federal government and your insurance plan have sent you notices saying that it's time is coming, you need to re-enroll. What's so important about re-enrolling is this. You can allow it to go on automatic. But if you allow it to go on automatic, you may be shortchanging yourself. So if you want no gap in your coverage, you need to take action by December 15th so you have coverage as of January 1st.
And again, if you're happy and peppy with your insurance plan, just press what little button said, I'm happy and peppy, and move on.
Well, they'll actually automatically enroll you, but we counsel differently. We counsel people that have a marketplace policy to go in and update their account because their income may have changed.
Sure.
They may be eligible for more financial assistance because the parameters have changed. So if you go on automatic, you may shortchange yourself. So go into that account and update it.
When you re-enroll, look what else is out there because there might be something better for you.
There may be something better, and even if you want to stay with the same plan, you may be eligible for more assistance than you were last year.
Okay, this is all based on the fact that the computers are working and the website's okay. It wasn't all that okay the first time through. Has it improved?
Yes, but last year Arizona had a very solid start in the marketplace in spite of all the difficulties. The Secretary of Health and Human Services on Sunday in her notice said there were a few hiccups on Saturday. Well, we can survive hiccups. A full head-on crash is a little bit harder to survive. Our staff and our partners have been enrolling people consistently since Saturday. Sometimes there's a little problem. They may have to go into the waiting room because there's too many people trying to get on, but now it tells you you're in the queue. So all in all, the experience has been very good. One of the big improvements, last year, a person had to go through 74 screens to get enrolled. This year it's 16. I'd say that's an improvement. So while the time to act is now, before December 15th, if you want to keep coverage or have coverage for January 1st or February 15th, and much has changed, we should also mention that in addition to the 120,000 people that got coverage last year, more than 230,000, 240,000 got coverage through expanded and restored Medicaid access.
Through the state program.
So more than 350,000 people have coverage now that didn't have coverage last year. That's 5 times the population of Flagstaff.
Last question. This is obviously to get people to enroll. What are the penalties if you don't enroll?
Yes, it is the law that you have to get coverage. The penalty for 2015 is $325 or 2% of your income, whatever is greater. Now that's per adult. And it does get a little complex, but just think of it this way. $325 per adult or 2% of your income, whichever is greater.
And these penalties will increase every year. You do not sign up?
Every year they go up. It's $600 and I can't remember if it's $50, but it's more than $600 in 2016.
Okay, but just out of curiosity, how do they collect on that? Is there someone knocking at your door? What happens?
No, you file your taxes. I hope you file your taxes,
all right. Okay.
And they will. But what's important is people can get help simply by going to coveraz.org. We have a connector tool where you can schedule an appointment with a helper all over the state.
All right. Good information. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
The Business Legal Assistance Program at ASU Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law is designed to help small business owners and entrepreneurs with a variety of legal needs free of charge. Shane Ross is with the Legal Assistance Program and joins us now. Welcome to Arizona Horizon.
Thanks for having me.
Give me a better definition. The Business Legal Assistance Program. What are we talking about?
Yes, so this is a pro bono group that is within the Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law at ASU. And what we do is we're staffed entirely by law students. And our goal of our program is to help small business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking to start a business or maybe have some business legal questions that they may not know how to answer without paying an attorney to get those questions answered. So we try to help these people that are starting a business with those questions.
Okay, these are students here. Are attorneys involved as well, or is there an oversight going on? How's that work?
Absolutely. We have a couple different ways that it factors in, but overall, we do have volunteer attorneys that work with our group. The process is as follows. We have, let's say, a small business owner that is thinking about starting a business, maybe doesn't know how to incorporate, whether to choose an LLC or an S corporation, for example. They'll get in touch with our group, and the best way to do that is via our website, which is blapasu.com. They'll fill out the form, get in touch with us, give us some information, and we'll set up a meeting with the small business owner where they can either come down to the Tempe campus and meet with a few students as well as a volunteer attorney. So that way we can get those questions addressed and answered for them.
As far as qualifying for this, I imagine, is it any business with a question? What kind of business qualify?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if there are small business owners, and we say small business because generally businesses that are more established, maybe have been around for a little bit longer, have more members, employees, don't necessarily have introductory legal questions that they may already have an attorney on staff. So small business owners that live within this area, even if you've already been established for quite some time, you can still get in touch with our group. We really don't want to discount anybody at this point in time because we're trying to just help the business community with these type of questions. So
again, we're talking trademarks, contracts, copyright, partnership, employment law, everything?
Definitely. It could be any of those issues. So we give the opportunity to work as when this client does come down to our conference room, we'll sit down one-on-one with a volunteer attorney, and those type of questions will be answered, and we'll try to help them out. And anything above and beyond that, let's say it may evolve into a lease issue where they have some questions about how to kind of calculate square footage or some legal issues behind a lease that they might be signing. That's where we can either partner with the volunteer attorney or we can give them some information about how to get in contact with an attorney for their needs.
So how often do these meetings happen?
As soon as somebody contacts our group, we'll get in touch with that person within a day or two. We'll set up a meeting. We can have meetings every week. We can have them a few times a week. It really just depends on the schedules of the students, the law students that are around, the volunteer attorneys who are also available to meet with these people. So it really just depends, but we have the capacity to continue to service these people as they come through.
Is there a time frame? I mean, after a while, do you say, okay, I think we've helped you about as much as we can? I mean, people can abuse things. I'm not necessarily suggesting this could be abused, but there has to be a certain parameter there, doesn't there?
Well, a little bit. I mean, you obviously don't want to take advantage of a service, but at the same time, these are smart people overall. They're starting businesses. They're trying to get established. They want to start making a living or providing for their family. So overall, if everyone who's involved with the meeting starts to sense that they might be overstepping, what might be at stake. Let's say they do have some more advanced legal questions that they wanted to have answered.
Right.
That's where the volunteer attorney there could say, well, we can talk about this. We can make an appointment, or I can help you. I have an associate who might be able to help you a little bit better with this issue. But the first introductory step of some of these basic legal questions, business related, is what we sort of want to address.
Yeah, the idea we've helped you as much as we probably can. It's time to maybe move on a little bit. Probably would occur eventually.
But that doesn't happen as much as
I would not think so. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, did this program stall in recent years? Has it been revived? It seems like I'd heard about this in the past. We may have done a show on this in the past, and now it's kind of back up in operation. What's going on there?
Yes, that's true. We've had an establishment within the College of Law campus for quite some time. It's been over 10 years. As of the past couple years, the attendance, participation of the students, of some of the volunteer attorneys has been decreased. And so we're really trying to get our name out there a little bit more within the greater Phoenix area. So over this year, really, we're making a massive push to broaden the reach of our program, let people know that we're out there, that we're here to help, and we also want to partner with volunteer attorneys who might be interested in helping our group out as well.
Last question, what do students get out of this program?
It's a great question. Students at the law school, they may have an interest in corporate law, they may have an interest in business law, but this is a pro bono group, which means that it's public service, that they're working with an attorney, they're working with clients, they're kind of shadowing what an attorney does on a day-to-day basis, and they're fostering these relationships as well as building up their expertise of working one-on-one with clients, and they're seeing how that process works. So they're learning, they're doing the research to help attorneys if they can factor that in, as well as they get the experience from being in the group.
A little win-win action going on there.
Absolutely.
All right, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Tonight's Spotlight on Arizona Technology and Innovation looks at the Arizona Technology Council's 2015 Public Policy Guide, which is aimed at improving the business climate for the state's tech industry. Steve Zylstra, President and CEO of the Arizona Technology Council, and Greg Ensel, Manager of Government and Public Affairs for Cox Communications. They're both here now to discuss the Public Policy Guide. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
This Public Policy Guide, what is this?
Well, starting in 2014, we began to be more formal about our agenda for the legislative session, and for the first time developed a very comprehensive policy guide, which includes principles as well as positions that we take on a whole variety of topics that impact the technology sector here in Arizona. And we do it both for the state level as well as the federal level.
And this, bottom line here is to improve the tech climate, the business industry, the business climate, I should say, for the tech industry, correct?
Absolutely. At a state level, our agenda covers 12 subject areas ranging from cyber technology to education. We went through an exhaustive process. We have nearly 800 member companies, and the process of creating the agenda is open to employees from any of those companies. We, in addition to establishing the principles that Steve just referenced, have 3 large priorities this year, which are refunding the angel investment tax credit, increasing the refundable research and development tax credit, and restoring education funding.
Let's start with that restoring of K through 12 education funding. How important is that, and how much do you think you're going to be successful with that?
Well, there's nothing more important to the tech industry than talent, and having more talent that pursues STEM-related careers, science, technology, engineering, and math, is critical to the industry, and having a high-performing education system is critical to producing the kind of talent that our industry needs. So we're very supportive of continuing to fund education at a much higher level than we have been. As we all know, the performance overall of the schools in Arizona is not where it needs to be, and it's a competitiveness issue. And without a good education system, our industry will not be effective here in Arizona.
And is that what you're seeing as well? The idea that we've got to get something going here to be attractive, to compete not only with our neighbors, but with the rest of the country, the rest of the world.
Absolutely. Education is one of the many issues that we face from a competitiveness standard. There will be lots of debate about how much and how to fund the K-12 section of the state budget. Many of the areas that we've pointed out in our public policy agenda focus on perhaps overlooked portions, much like expanding e-learning through enhanced broadband connectivity to schools.
Interesting. All right, let's get to this business of the Refundable Research and Development Tax Credit. What is that, and why is that important?
So in 1996, Arizona created an R&D tax credit, and in 2001 made it accessible to individuals because a lot of small companies are S-corps and the individuals file the taxes. So we have one of the most robust R&D tax credits in the country, but if you're an early stage company pre-revenue and have no tax burden, even though you're earning an R&D tax credit, it doesn't do you any good. So the refundable R&D tax credit allows a company to get its tax credit early, if you will, but the state gets a 25% discount on its ongoing obligation. You can carry forward an R&D tax credit for 15 years in Arizona. So companies with less than 150 employees are eligible for the refundable R&D tax credit, and what we're trying to do is expand it. The Arizona Commerce Authority did an economic impact study and showed for the $15 million that the state expended on this program in its first 3 years, Elliott Pollock study indicates that it generated $2.3 billion in economic impact, and it had a 14-to-1 direct impact for every dollar spent.
All right, and the angel investment tax credit was mentioned as well. Let's talk, and again, we're talking another tax credit, and I know that people are hearing this saying, well, you're talking one way about let's fund education, but now I'm hearing nothing but tax credits. How do you balance all that stuff out?
That's a very good question, and I think it speaks not to one specific credit, but the suite of credits in economic development policy. Many people compare Arizona to Texas, and we'll never be able to compete with Texas on the volume of incentives or tax credits. However, we certainly can compete on the quality of credits, especially those that are focused, much like the R&D tax credit and the refunding the angel investment tax credit.
And as far as lawmakers, are they open to these ideas? Are they more open than they had? You've been around.
Yeah. We have a cohort of members of the legislature who have strongly supported these credits for a long time. That's why these two programs exist. In the case of the angel investment tax credit, last year we were able to get that program that was going to sunset extended to 2021 and make some technical changes. However, in order to get it out of the legislature last session, we had to take the dollars off of it. And so we're going back this session to add the dollars back on because obviously there's an impact because it's a tax credit. But companies like Infusionsoft, you've heard of them, they're growing in leaps and bounds, may not have existed if it hadn't been for the angel investment tax credit. And Clayton Mast, the CEO, would say that. It was very important at an early stage in their development to have access to capital.
With that in mind, how vibrant right now is Arizona's tech sector?
It's incredibly vibrant. All one needs to do is visit SeedSpot or Cahoots or any of, I believe, the 200 or so entrepreneurial co-working spaces, in addition to our nearly 800 member companies, to really get a sense of how exciting the economy is. A friend and colleague, Jim Rounds from Elliott Pollock and Company, just recently noted that, it's nothing to bank the balance of the state deficit. The economy appears to be improving, and while being very guarded, there is reason to be optimistic.
And you mentioned that deficit, and again, this is a public policy guide, and it's something that you want lawmakers to pay attention to and work toward. How can you get past the elephant in the room? And this is a pretty big elephant in a pretty small room when it comes to that budget deficit, not only the shortfall for this year, but what we're looking at for next year. How in the world do you get past that with public policy guides?
Well, as you know, there are hundreds of pieces of legislation that pass through the legislature on an annual basis. So besides the two items that we've talked about tonight, or three, there are going to be all kinds of other issues that come before the legislature. So what this guide puts us in a position to do is be reactive when those things come before the legislature, because we've already thought about it, we've taken a position on it, and now we can be proactive when the legislature starts to deal with it.
All right, very good. Good to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
And Friday on Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. We'll discuss how the President's executive order on immigration impacts Arizona. And Attorney General Tom Horne agrees to pay a $10,000 fine in a campaign violations case. That's Friday on the Journalists Roundtable. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.